It goes without saying that the global metal scene would not be the same without Sepultura. For 35 years now, the Brazilian icons are not only a band revered worldwide, they have been and forever will be at the very forefront of thrash metal, trailblazing ever since they released their long-since legendary debut album, Morbid Visions, in 1986. While quickly establishing themselves as the leaders of the second wave of thrash already in the late 80s, to this day, they'd never even come close to stagnation. Quadra, the mighty new undertaking, is proof of a will unbroken, a thirst unquenched, and a quality so staggeringly high it's a wonder this band doesn't implode. Now 3 albums deep into what may very well be their strongest incarnation yet, uniting the talents of old school members Andreas Kisser and Paulo Istia Pinto Jr., vocal force of nature Derek Green, and drummer Eloy Casandragrande, Sepultura are an unleashed power to be reckoned with, uniting bucket loads of experience and youthful vigour in a totally revived way. Quadra will be released on February 7th, 2020 via Nuclear Blast Records. This is a big record for Sepultura, forever having to answer critics who can't accept that their version of Sepultura hasn't been a thing since 1996. Regardless of the quality output the band has been churning out for the better part of 20 years, naysayers will still squeal and scream about how they're not really Sepultura. It's absurd, especially in 2020. Sepultura realistically have nothing to prove, but truth be told, there's no better way of answering your critics than releasing a banger album, which is exactly what they've done here with Quadra. With a bombastic and surprisingly epic intro, Isolation has Sepultura thrown their all into an absolute beast of a thrash metal song. The forces of this band working together in furious tandem, even the most anti-Sepultura person would struggle to stop themselves headbanging here. Means to an end, and last time bring as much noise as possible to this thrash metal party, both tracks serving as a reminder of just how great a vocalist Derek Green is. The man has an absolutely beastly voice, and on both these tracks he digs down deep for a crushing performance to rival anyone within the thrash and death world. Then enough can't be also said about the guitar wizardry of Andreas Kisser. There isn't a single track where he isn't doing something that beggars belief, even if it's just slamming the riffs down with angry vitriol, such as on Capital Enslavement and Ali, the former a track that shows Sepultura are never afraid to acknowledge their roots. The backbone of anything really heavy is of course the bass and drums, and the pair of Paulo and Eloy prove to be an integral part of what makes Quadra such a beastly listen, the aptly titled Raging Void picking up and tossing around to a disorienting finish. Then we get a choir adding some epic freshness to Guardians of the Earth, although there is no arguing with the guitar solo here. Before it's back to thrash ferocity with the Pentagram and Autumn. Call them fan pleasers if you will, as the final 2 tracks are a bit more experimental and may not please everyone. So be it though, because they are great, in particular Agony of Defeat. It's a hell of an album. Quadra is out on February 7th via Nuclear Blast. Make sure you check it out and let us know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on GBHBL.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon to help us out over there. That's patreon.com/GBHBL, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts, and of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal, what else is life for?